Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to your Boulevard Home Game of the Week here on the Fan Sports Network. Crimson Cliffs Mustangs at the Snow Canyon Warriors here in the jungle today on this Friday night, kicking off basketball here in 2024. Caden Formaster here with you on the broadcast, and alongside me, Ben Lindquist. And Ben, we are getting ready for some region basketball. I say it's about time.
Nothing better than Friday night Region 9 basketball. And what feels like the home opener for the region season, even though there was games in December, this feels like the real start to the region season.
It really does, yeah. It feels like we're finally into the nitty-gritty of it all here as we're getting ready to open up. Like you say, yes, we've had a little bit of region play, but really we're getting into opening up the region season here tonight. So with that said, we are again here in the jungle for your Boulevard Home Game of the Week right now, and you are listening to the pregame show brought to you by Fabulous Freddy's and Bucks Ace Hardware. Bucks with the best location, our best services for guns and ammo, barbecues, lawn and garden. Think Bucks and their 3 Southern Utah locations. And of course, Fabulous Freddy's voted best in Southern Utah for car wash, soda and cookie, and sandwiches with their 2 great locations on River Road and Bluff Street. Make it a fabulous day at Fabulous Freddy's. Now, Ben, as we get started here, teams warming up out on the court, just about to get things started. What are some of the things that we're looking forward to in today's ballgame?
Well, this is the beauty of high school basketball, and especially in the state of Utah. There's so many great teams, and really, you hate to say it, but on any given night, these teams are so talented that any team can pull the upset. I think this is a really evenly matched matchup tonight. You've got Crimson, who has had some adversity in terms of the loss of their starting point guard. And then you've got, of course, Snow Canyon. Owen Mackey, who has had an ankle injury for the last couple of weeks, and lost some big players the last couple of years. So this is a really even matchup tonight, and I think home court's going to play a role tonight. We got full crowds again at these games. The preseason's over, and the fans have turned out. You got to love it.
Absolutely, as we get things ready to go here for this ball game. Between the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs and the Snow Canyon Warriors. We're going to step aside, take a break. We got more for you on the other side here on the Fan Sports Network. Quick break. We'll be back with those Team D Auto Sales keys to the game.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks Ace stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Back at it here in the jungle, getting ready for some high school basketball between the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs and the Snow Canyon Warriors. Caden Formaster and Ben Lindquist. Shout out to Sebastian as well, running the camera. And we want to thank CC back in the studio, in the Findlay Hyundai studio, as he's running things on the radio side for us. And then, of course, this game being broadcast on the fansportsnetwork.com and the Fan Sports Network YouTube page. And we also have a game across town between Cedar and Desert Hills being broadcast as well in those same locations. So you can catch all your region sports right here on the Fan Sports Network. Now, Ben, as we hop on into it, let's get into our Team D Auto Sales Keys to the game. Check out Team D Auto Sales over on the Boulevard, and you can find them at teamdautosales.com. Keys to the game, Ben.
Well, look, Crimson has to find ways to contain Owen Mackey. I think that's going to probably look like an athlete like Trevor Taylor starting out on him, but you're really going to have solid team defense, guys that can rotate. You certainly don't want to rotate those smaller players on him because he has an advantage on pretty much every part of the court. And then, of course, you've lost your senior starting point guard to a broken foot. You've got to find ways to replace those points. Against Dixie in their first home opener for Crimson, they were not only missing their starting point guard, they were missing their starting shooting guard, and Drake Carroll, who was sick with a cold and flu type symptoms. And so they had to replace two of those guys and probably about almost 30 points. So tonight they're going to have to find a way to replace those 17 points and do it efficiently. And lastly, Dixie really exposed some fast break weaknesses. I'm sure this is something that Coach Murdoch and the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs have worked on, but they've got to find a way to stop that fast break, especially when you have explosive players like Owen Mackey who can get out in transition and flush it down to get the crowd excited. And then you move over to Snow Canyon. Got to find a way with Big Sean Felds and Trevor Taylor to limit their points in the paint. They have a size advantage for Crimson, and so for Snow Canyon, you got to find a way to limit that. Contain the three-point line. Crimson's a team that if they can hit 4, 5, or 6 three-pointers, it seems to charge up their defense. It seems to charge up their overall play. And lastly, you've got to limit those second chance opportunities for some of the same reasons we just mentioned. Guys like Sean Felds, 6'11". Guys like Trevor Taylor, super athletic. And so on down the line where you can't give up those cheap extra points, especially at home, because those stop runs, those eat up momentum, and those make it difficult to win.
And with that, again, your Team D Auto Sales keys to the game here from Snow Canyon High School as we get ready for our Boulevard home game of the week with the teams lining up, getting ready to, just about getting ready to get going with the national anthem here in a bit. But before we do that, Ben, I want to tell all of our viewers and our listeners about something really cool that we're doing, that we're kicking off. We, of course, have our Jimmy John's Play of the Week, or Highlight of the Week. And we kind of have been keeping that in-house, just grabbing some highlights ourselves. But we're opening this up to the public. If you guys want to submit videos that you've taken of our local athletes, please do. Head on over to thefansportsnetwork.com. If you go to contests, there's a contest tab where you can go and enter your video right there, or use the hashtag #TheFanSN. Now, if we select your video to put on our own Instagram, you get a $50 gift card to Jimmy John's.
Okay. I'm assuming employees don't apply here because I think we could submit some pretty good stuff this year. But what a great way. Thank you, Jimmy Johns, for supporting high school basketball and Region 9 athletics.
Yeah, absolutely. So go submit your videos today either on Instagram or Facebook using the hashtag #TheFanSN, or you could also just do it on our website and submit it that way. So a lot of ways that you can submit, and if we select you and put you on our own personal Instagram page, then again, you can get $50 to Jimmy John's. Pretty cool. So
really cool.
We are just about to get underway with the national anthem. We're going to step aside, take a break here. When we come back, it's the starting lineups on the Fan Sports Network.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross.
Hey, Region 9 sports fans. This is Matt Hickman with Academy Mortgage, a proud sponsor of Region 9 football. I would be honored to help you with your next mortgage, whether it's purchasing a home, building, or refinancing. Hey, I'm wide open. Let's connect for a touchdown.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Scooter's Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile Scooter's Coffee. Open 7 days a week.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
Back at it here on the Fan Sports Network, getting ready for the starting lineups. Brought to you by House of Jump. Of course, you just saw the ad. Now go check out the House of Jump and mention that you heard it right here on the Fan Sports Network. They sent you. Well, guess what? If you do that, they're going to throw in $10 towards the arcade. So go check them out.
Certainly a good chance of seeing one of those tonight when we get a dunk. You got big Sean Feltz and you got Owen Mackey, who love to throw down.
Absolutely. Let's get to it. Starting lineups today. Crimson Cliffs starting off. We have number 12, Drake Carroll. Number 15, Noah Marsden. Number 22, Sean Feltz. Number 23, Trevor Taylor. And number 24, McKay Lindquist. They kind of went a little early turning the lights off on us here.
I'll tell you what, we got a laser light show.
You know what?
I'm expecting some flames, maybe some smoke.
It's the jungle. That's how we do it. That is how we do it. And with Snow Canyon starting lineups, let's get to it. Number 2, Dre Smith. Number 3, Damon Entz. Number 22, Trey Kelsch. Number 24, Owen Mackey. And number 33, Carter Campbell. Your starting lineup there for the Snow Canyon Warriors. And let's check out, again, the festivities that they have here. The laser show, the lights.
I'll tell you what,
music.
I mean, this is as good as some college starting lineups, Caden.
I don't know if anybody does it much better than Snow Canyon.
And how great is it? We have Desert Hills, who has, Thunderstruck that they can play.
Yep.
And then you have Snow Canyon has Welcome to the Jungle. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
And speaking of starting lineups, this is a Snow Canyon team with the first-year head coach. This is a Crimson team with the first-year head coach. And so you've seen some experimenting with starting lineups, including Snow Canyon, who has probably had 3 or 4 starting lineups this year. And so it'll be interesting now as we get into the second half of the season, out of the preseason, to see really how these teams start to take shape.
Absolutely. And again, the starting lineups as they wrap up here, we're going to get you into the action. But just as a reminder that we do have games going on across town. We have Cedar and Desert Hills also on the Fan Sports Network.
Oh, baby, yeah, the old Nets on Fire scoreboard.
That's right. And then you also have Hurricane and Dixie going on tonight as well. That game you can watch over on the fansportsnetwork.com, streamed with our friends over at Dixie High School through FlyFam and their YouTube page. So tip-off about to get underway here. We got, of course, for Crimson Cliffs, Sean Feltz, and for Snow Canyon, Carter Campbell. This might be one of the few times that Sean Feltz has somebody who he's nearly eye to eye with in the region. He's one of the taller guys in the region. He's still maybe got a couple inches there on Campbell, but this is a better matchup for him. And it tips
a little bit of volleyball action out of the gate.
Got to give credit to Campbell. He got a little bit of an extra jump there and tipped it over to Taylor, though, and Crimson Cliffs will start out with the basketball. Taylor looking to get it inside to Feltz, and does. Feltz posting up, spins back, puts it up with the hook. It's in.
And that's a great sign for Crimson and for Sean Feltz out of the gate, being able to get it down low and execute.
Over to the right side. Taking it back up top to Campbell. Smith calling for it again. Looking over to Mackey. Mackey picked up by Taylor, and he'll reset back up top. Now back to Mackey. Mackey looking for the pick. Step inside the three-point line. Shots up, no good. Rebounded by Carroll. Carroll quickly to the other side. To Marsden, now swinging around back up top. Again to Marsden on the right side. Lindquist up top to Taylor. Taylor Marsden. Marsden with the yellow shoes with the red jersey. Gotta love that color combo.
Looks like a little Christmas gift, huh?
Absolutely. Lindquist goes up strong with it, but is swarmed by about 3 different Warriors. The ball goes into the hands of the Mustangs, and dropping the 3, Noah Marsden.
And, you know, those are the ones where you play great team defense, and the ball just happens to bounce the wrong way, in that case to Marsden for the wide open 3.
Smith over to the right side to Campbell. Campbell up top to Kelsch. Kelsch swinging it around. Back to Smith. Hands off to Mackey. Now top with it is Entz over to Kelsch again. Smith to Mackey. Mackey on the left wing. Looking for a pick from Campbell, and they're going to give him a moving screen there, and it'll be Crimson Cliffs basketball.
And already I love the on-ball defense by Trevor Taylor. You can see that he's been focused on what he has to do in his assignment to be able to guard a player of the caliber of Owen Mackey.
Marsden going up top to Taylor, swinging it over to Lindquist, now to Carroll. It's tipped away and out of bounds. It'll be Mustang basketball.
Close call there for Lindquist, but this is a good sign for Crimson as they've been able to really have great ball movement early. I think this is going to be a battle where we're going to see several runs between these two teams. I don't think anybody's going to run away with this thing.
Carroll with the ball up top by the logo, picked up by Kelsch, looking for the pick from Feltz. Drives in with the left hand, kicks out 3, no good. Rebounded by the Warriors, and a foul is called. It'll stay Warriors basketball.
And it looks like the refs are excited too. Maybe they've been waiting for some basketball to come back as well, as we see 2 early calls.
Trey Kelsch will bring the ball up here for the Warriors. Dribbles it over to the right side. Up top to Smith, back over to Kelsch.
Looks like they're going to try to have Mackey on the high post there.
Mackey double team, ball stolen away by Lindquist. Outlet pass on the run, and it's in. Beautiful play by the Mustangs for 2.
If they don't get something here and you see a Crimson basket, I would not be surprised to see a timeout. As silenced me with a 3 on the top. Somebody goes underneath the screen on the ball screen there.
Trey Kelsch, and on the other side it's Feltz with the miss, and back into the hands of Kelsch.
And it looks like Owen's his ankle has got a pretty good wrap on it and brace. Certainly not had the reps that he was hoping this so far.
So he puts up a 10-footer, gets his own rebound, missed again, and underneath for 2.
Again, I just think this is one of those games where you're going to see runs, just as we see Trevor Taylor with the left hand. Beautiful finish there. 9-5 early with just under 5 minutes. I think this is what we're going to see. Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth.
It's moving quick as Entz goes up top to Kelsch. Over to Campbell now. Just under 4:30 left to play here in the first as Mackey takes the 3. No good. Rebounded Feltz, tipped, and nope, it'll be a foul called against Kelsch.
And this might be a game where we really have to watch the fouls as you know, this new rule this year where the 5-team fouls in a quarter, you're shooting 2 automatic. We've got 2 early ones, and we're not even halfway through this first quarter. So something to certainly watch in this new high school season.
Lindquist inbounds the ball to Carroll, who'll take it up. Carroll dribbling it over to the right side. In the middle now, Feltz. He'll take the elbow jumper. No good. Rebound, Mackey.
And that's a shot he can make. You know, as a coach, you like to see that because he's wide open and he can make that.
Top with it, Mackey. Swings it over to Entz. Entz back over to Smith. He'll take the deep 3 with a hand in his face, and he drops it. Wow.
One of those rare occasions where with the defense actually makes you shoot it a little bit higher and a little bit softer.
Beautiful shot there by Smith. Down low with it, Feltz, picked up by Campbell. He pushed shot, he makes another one of those.
Pretty incredible. Even when Campbell tries to take away that left shoulder right hook, he's still able to elevate over with the soft touch for the big fella.
Smith looking for somewhere to go, gets it to Campbell up top. Campbell back over to Entz. Entz drives in with the right hand towards the baseline, kicks out to Campbell. Campbell back out to Mackey, and Mackey will reset. 10 on the shot clock. Mackey looks for the pick, goes the opposite way. Goes over to Campbell. 5 on the shot clock. Campbell Has to go somewhere with it. Pump fakes, crosses court. Mackey will take the three on the buzzer. No. Hits the rim. No shot clock violation there. Mustangs have the ball. Taylor on the right side gets down low to Feltz. Feltz, the ball is tipped away by Campbell. It'll stay with the Mustangs.
11-8, just under 3 minutes. Crimson probably feels like they gave up a couple of easy ones, but Snow Canyon's hit some tough shots to make sure that they stay in this game.
Inbound to Carroll. Back over to Taylor, who sent in the inbound pass, goes up top. Swinging it across. Now back in the hands of Carroll, looking down low. It's tipped away by Owen Iloa, who has just checked into the game.
And Iloa, a transfer from Hurricane, a big, strong, athletic kid. I think he's been in and out of the starting lineup a little bit this year. Certainly a good matchup for him. I think they've been teammates throughout the years on some AAU stuff, but a great matchup on the block.
Up top with it, Carroll gets the pick from Feltz, goes in with the left hand, wide open lane to the basket for two.
Great job with the left hand attack. Great ball screen to draw the opposite defender.
Iloa up top over to Mackey on the right side, swinging it over to the left, pump fake, and back up top with his Iloa. He hands off to Entz, no, instead goes to Mackey on the right side. Mackey drives in through the middle, goes up with it on the left side with the right hand and misses. Outlet to Lindquist for the Mustangs, here they come. Now into Eaton, who has just checked into the game as well. Back to Eaton, into the corner, Lindquist. He pump fakes, goes back up top, Taylor. Right side, Carroll takes the three. It's good.
His shot has really been able to develop this season. And I love guys that when they catch the ball, they're ready to shoot it.
That Cache Valley Bank three-pointer gives Drake Carroll 5 so far here through the first quarter. 16.
Yeah. 16 to 8,
for the Mustangs.
That's the battle we expected.
This is a good battle. Inside, Mackey's quick spin, goes up strong, gets it to go. Owen Mackey.
And you see his athleticism and skill.
A future Utah Tech trailblazer as Owen Iloa picks up the foul over Drake Carroll.
Sean Feltz got the rebound and threw it down with 2, and the ref said, hey, big fella, don't do that.
You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Well, for Snow Canyon, we have a whiteout on one side.
Oh, yeah.
And for Crimson Cliffs, we have the
night.
Jersey night.
I like the whiteout, but you always got to respect Jersey night when you get a good turnout because it looks good.
It looks good.
We have some throwback jerseys. We've got some retro Lakers. We've got the Jazz. We have a Donovan Mitchell.
I'm seeing a Dan Marino over there as well.
I see a Harlem Globetrotters, who, by the way, are coming to St. George.
So I've heard.
And I believe we'll have some tickets on the Fan Sports Network to give away, Caden.
I love it. I love it. One made free throw. And down low with it now is Iloa. Going up against Feltz. Has nowhere to go with it. And picking up the foul there will be Jaden Eaton.
Difficult to, that baseline look. Those are the ones where you've got him in the middle of the key. You've got him picking up his dribble. And as a coach, you go, no, just don't foul.
Trey Kelsch will inbound. 17-10 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Inbounds to Iloa on the right side, taking it up top over to Smith, and now Mackey into the corner. Kelsch, who brings it right back up. Iloa will drive up against Feltz. Too strong off the glass and rebounded by the Mustangs. Carroll over to Taylor, trying to go down low, but it was over the hands of Feltz. It's hard to get over the hands of Feltz.
Yeah, and I think Sean was saying, hey, I think I got a little help in the back. He
got a little bump in the back. Kind of took the oomph away from trying to get into that pass, but with now under a minute to play, it is Warrior basketball, 17-10. Left side, Mackey picked up by Taylor, goes up top to Iloa.
And something you don't see in Region 9 basketball very often, you have Reggie Mackey, Owen's little brother, he's a sophomore, who's come into the game.
And an offensive rebound by Iloa. He goes back up strong with it, misses, but draws the foul. And he'll hit the line for 2.
So far, 17-10, just under 40 seconds left. I mean, it doesn't feel like a 7-point lead. It feels more like a 1-point lead. And I think this is what we're going to see as a game of runs as Iloa knocks down the first of his 2 free throws.
And with that free throw, again, yeah, it shortens that lead just a little bit more.
We even have some under the basket antics going on to distract
We have some sort of a white sheet.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess to the whiteout. That's the white sheet to the whiteout. It's the counter move.
Missed free throw on the second free throw. 17-11. Mustangs lead. Lindquist with the ball on the left side. Goes up top to Phelps. Back to Lindquist. He'll drive inside. Foul line jumper is good.
Big stop here. If you're Crimson, for Snow Canyon, a great chance to equal and counter that shot there by the Cliffs.
Mackey with 7 seconds on the clock will drive inside against Phelps. He goes up off the glass. Beautiful shot. Owen Mackey. And a travel called with under a second left to go. They will inbound the ball on Snow Canyon side of the court.
And a great finish by Owen Mackey, but this is a guy you can't let go to his strong hand. He loves to go right, but we got a glimpse of what I think we're going to see here at Utah Tech, and I'm so excited as he's able to finish over a 6'11" guy in traffic.
Mackey will take the inbound. He'll pull the three on the buzzer. No good. Nothing there. And with the air ball, the Crimson Cliffs fans will let him have it. End of the first quarter. 19-13, Mustangs lead. We will step aside for a quick 45-second break. We'll be back right after this here on the Fan Sports Network.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
Own property and want to rent it? Then you need the right team with 11 years of local experience, a staff of over 25 employees, and a 4.9 Google rating. Aim to maximize your rental income and find quality tenants while keeping turnover low to increase your revenue and truly maintain your property. Learn more at redrockpropertymanagement.com.
Back at it here in the jungle, getting ready for the second quarter. Want to give a shout out to one of our great local sponsors, Intermountain Sports Performance. There's no off-season when it comes to your specific sport, and that specific sport training happens at Intermountain Sports Performance with locations from Logan to St. George.
What great facilities those guys have. It's incredible what these athletes have access to now that, 2 decades ago we were like, wait a minute, what?
A decade ago, I didn't have that.
Sports performance?
I was happy to go have someone unlock the crate of basketballs for me in the gym, let alone have someone coach me.
I was lucky to have a church key.
Yeah, exactly. Trey Kelch with the ball up top, swinging it across. Now Reggie Mackey. Excuse me, Ryder. Yeah, no, that is Reggie Mackey, excuse me, who's checked into the game.
And again, how cool is that? You get to play with your big brother. Pretty special. We saw that last year a little bit with Jordan Eaton and J.J. Eaton. Pretty cool.
Campbell with the ball down low up against Phelps. Dribbling in with the left hand, goes up with the left hand. Gets it to drop for the and one.
And I think Sean's saying, I'd like a couple of those, but he did make contact on the arm there, as you can see, and a great move. Going that right shoulder with the big left hand, soft touch, falls home, gets the chance for the and one.
And just a little high five there by Sean Phelps will send Campbell to the line and getting it to drop. A high shot from the foul line.
That's a nice way to put it.
Bringing it up for the Mustangs, Carroll.
Good on-ball defense there by Snow Canyon.
Just barely nicks the rim.
I like the shot. If a guy goes underneath and you're a good shooter and you have space, you got to be confident enough to step up and shoot that.
Reggie over to Owen.
And this will be interesting to watch as we've got Marsden now on Owen Mackey.
And in the corner for three, Damon Entz ties it up with a Cache Valley Bank three-pointer.
A game of runs. This is one of those things where, you expect to see this from both teams throughout the first 3 quarters and then see where we end here at the end of the fourth.
Eaton over to Lindquist. Lindquist backs it back out. Over to Carroll, looking down low to Phelps. Phelps ball tipped away by the hand of Campbell. Phelps back inside, and it's stripped away, and a foul will be called.
And this will be something to watch, Caden, as we see, can these 2 big guys get the other big guy in foul trouble and take something away? But it's interesting how Crimson goes. They start with that early lead, but as you look up there, that was probably, we haven't had the ball into Sean there for, 3 or 4 possessions. You got to keep the big guy involved on both ends because they're both great big guys in the paint.
And Feltz misses the first. Taylor checks back into the game, as well as Dre Smith.
Looks like we've also got Noah Nelson, senior guard, number 1. We're a member of that state championship football team.
And Feltz makes the second.
And it looks like they'll take him out with 2 fouls. Campbell out with 2 fouls, and certainly something to watch. But what a great matchup with 2 twin towers in the paint.
Couch brings the ball up for the Warriors. Hands off to Entz, now to Smith. Over to Iloa. Iloa looking down low to Mackey. Mackey off pass and tried to bring it back in, but now into the hands of the Mustangs. Nelson on the drive, dumps it off to Feltz. Feltz looking for somewhere to go. Backdoor cut.
Great backdoor cut. And this is what I would tell any high school basketball players: slow down. Use your ball fakes and your pass fakes to get your offensive teammates open.
Entz swings it across the Kelch. Up top by Loa. And back to Mackey on the left side. Mackey picked up by Taylor. Behind the back, step back, puts up the shot. No good off the front of the rim.
And again, you see that flash of athleticism and skill that Owen Mackey possesses.
Taylor brings it up top, swings it over to Carroll. He pump fakes. He'll bring it back to the middle. Spins, pushes up the shot. No good off the front of the rim.
A little bit of a tough shot. Again, you like to see them go back into the big fella, especially with Campbell on the bench with 2 fouls.
Driving in. Smith has to kick out to Owen Mackey. He goes inside to Iloa. Iloa gets the ball tipped, but keeps control of it. He goes out to Entz. Entz looking to drive in, kicks out Smith. 13 on the shot clock. Smith trying to find a lane inside. It goes off of his leg, and it'll be Mustang basketball.
22-19, Caden, just over 5 minutes. Gotta love Region 9 basketball. Football's great as well. We have so many great sports throughout the area. So fortunate to be here on a Friday night calling the game with you, man. What a place to be.
What a place. It's so much fun. No better place to be here on our January. And we got a lot of games in January here on the Fan Sports Network. We're just getting started. Nelson with the push shot from 5 feet out. No good. Taylor with the rebound. He tries to put it back. He's blocked by Mackey. Lindquist gets the ball looking down low. And it goes out of bounds. So we can catch that block here on the Holbrook Asphalt replay. There's the offensive rebound.
Great extension on the rebound by Taylor, but probably a shot fake, then go up.
Yep. Swinging it across now to Taylor.
I'd love to see him. Yep. Let's see if you can get it into the big fella again. He's just got such a size advantage.
Nelson nowhere to go on that one. And Couch will reset here for the Warriors. Up top with it, Iloa. Swinging it over to Entz, now Mackey. Mackey back up top to Kelch. And now Smith, he'll take the deep 3. He's made 1 already, why not? Catches the rim twice, ball on the ground, and it will be Mustang basketball off the foot of Owen Iloa.
And we'll see how long Coach Murrah can buy time for Drake Carroll to catch his breath. Again, a guy you have to have on the floor now with Scoop Johnson, but you also have to have him with his wind and ready to go.
Lindquist brings the ball up and hands off to Nelson on the right side. Up top to Feltz, quick handoff back to Nelson. Outlets to Marsden, now Marsden again, over to Taylor. Now under 4 minutes to play, Taylor up top. Drives in with the left, pushes it up with the right, no good.
And you hear me talk all the time about, advice for these high school players: come to a jump stop and pull up.
Big 3. Couch. Cache Valley Bank 3-pointer.
And out of transition, those are what we talk about. Like, you've got to be able to stop those transition buckets. Snow Canyon shows no fear. They shoot it, they get it, and they let it fly.
Feltz puts up the shot, no good. Offensive rebound, and 1.
What an athletic play there. Great job by Noah Marsden to catch that board, go up strong, and just get enough of the English to let that baby fall home as we see Crimson go up 24-22. 3:24 left in the second.
And there you see it on the Holbrook Asphalt replay, the putback, the and 1. That sends Marsden to the line.
Speaking of Holbrook, we got our Yogurtland What's the
Holbrook
score, 55?
Yeah, 55.
Woo.
We're on course for that.
Yeah, we're right on
we're
schedule.
On course.
Thank you, Holbrook Asphalt. Going to get out Yogurtland on the way home.
That's right. First 5 ounces free at Yogurtland. Iloa on the drive. Pump fakes. Rattles the rim no good. And it's Taylor on the rebound. He's got to get the ball picked up. There he goes. Into the corner quickly to Marsden. He looks down low to Feltz. Feltz back to Marsden. Good cut.
Great feed by the big fella. He draws so much attention. Just a great look.
Marsden with 9 already in the game tonight.
And he's a very streaky player. I saw him up at Manti get 12 points, 3 3-pointers.
Wide open corner 3 is good from Damon Entz. Cache Valley big 3-pointer.
By my count, the 5th 3-pointer of the game, as we see that's what's keeping them in this.
Oh, and from one end to the other, defense potentially leading to offense, misses the shot. And Lindquist will pull back and reset here for the Mustangs. Marsden brings it up top. 2:10 left to play in the first quarter. This ball tipped out of bounds by the Warriors. 26-25 on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard. We've got ourselves a ball game. Now, here's something interesting, Ben. Yesterday, all of these teams that are playing in Region 9 matched up in girls basketball.
Oh, right.
At halftime, there wasn't a single game that was more than a 2-point differential at halftime.
I love it. It shows you how good the region is. It shows you how good these coaches, these athletes are. Great competitive nature. And this has been nonstop from just the opening tip.
Lindquist on the inbound, looking down low to Taylor. And it's thrown away out of bounds. It'll be Warrior basketball. Just over 2 minutes left to play still.
I think he had him so open. He got so excited. That's one where just compose yourself and let it wrap in there with a little spin.
Driving in with the left hand. Entz kicks out to Kelsch. Kelsch on the drive now. Nowhere to go. He's picked up by Travis Murdoch, who's checked into the game. And now it's Mackey down low. He puts up the hook shot for 2.
You just almost have to send some help once he picks up his dribble because he's just so athletic and long.
Going up strong with it, Feltz, and he's blocked by Iloa. On the other side, it's Mackey. He kicks out deep 3. Again, can Entz get it? No. Iloa with the offensive rebound.
They really love the deep ball, and it's what's kept them in this game as they've had 5 3-pointers. That's 15 of their 27.
Quick outlet, Entz, open 3 again. Yes! Damon Entz again. And on the other side, the answer back from Carroll.
What a great game. I'm a little bit speechless.
I'm speechless.
It's like we see 1-3 and it's right back at them. Incredible.
The back and forth has been insane. It's been fun. Quick timeout. We'll keep it right here. Timeout brought to you by Udi and Associates. Call Luke Udi. He can get you great rates on home, auto, life insurance. Call Luke today, 435-251-9102 for your free quote. See how much you can save. And across town, Desert Hills in Cedar. It's halftime, or just about halftime over there. 33-20 at the moment, with 3:20 left to go in this first half of play. Desert Hills up.
Big shout out to Nets on Fire for that Region 9 scoreboard. What great partners in this community. Great facilities over there.
You know, they've been our hosts for the last 2 seasons now for our media day to kick off basketball here with Region 9. Great facilities, and they were just barely redoing the court. So you know if you're going to go play over there, you got a fresh court.
I love that. 30-29 here, Caden, just under 40 now. This will be kind of an interesting play and series here and the next one down going into the locker room.
And Iloa goes up strong with it, is not there on it. And Murdoch gets the rebound. 30 seconds left to play. Shot clock is off, and Carroll in control of it. A 1-point ball game, 29-30. Warriors lead. And an offensive foul. They're going to give Carroll the offensive foul. They'll say he extended that arm just a little too much. I just missed it on the replay there, on the replay capture, but that gives the Warriors a chance to extend this lead going into halftime. Kelsch on the drive against Carroll. He tries to get it, and Carroll, who stripped the ball, is out of bounds, tips it back in, so it'll be an out-of-bounds ball against Crimson. Snow Canyon will inbound under the basket with 13.9.
Great defensive presence there. Drake Carroll has such quick hands, and I think with 2 fouls, he's saying, we better get him off the court for the final 13 seconds of defense.
The inbound goes to Mackey, gets it right back down low. Iloa kicks out to Mackey, into the corner, Kelsch. The selfless assist from Mackey to Kelsch. No good. Ball still in the hands of Taylor. It's 33-29. The Warriors making a run in the second to take the lead into the half. Again, 33-29 on the scoreboard. Warriors lead here in the jungle going into our Rally Stop halftime show. We're going to step aside, take ourselves about a 2-minute break, and we'll be back for the Rally Stop halftime show when we return here on the Fan Sports Network.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Red Ledge's Dermatology and Med Spa, specializing in general and cosmetic dermatology, treating acne, rashes, warts, and more. They even do cancer screenings and offer a free chemical pill with your first appointment. So if you need dermatology, think Red Ledge's Dermatology, located just off Snow Canyon Parkway, St. George.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bryant Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511. Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out, with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Welcome back in here to the Rally Stop halftime show from Snow Canyon High School as we get ready for the second half of basketball here in a bit, but of course, right now on the Rally Stop halftime show, I want to thank Rally Stop. There's no better place to refuel than Rally Stop. So after the game, go fill up on fuel, snacks, and drinks. No better place than Rally Stop. So as we get on into it, the score right now, 33-29. The Warriors taking the lead. A great second quarter there from Snow Canyon. Ben, what are we seeing here through the first half?
Well, for Snow Canyon, you're seeing the excellence from behind the three-point line with 7 three-pointers. 21 of the 33 points for Snow Canyon have come from beyond the arc, and my guess is they're shooting at about 65-70%. And for Crimson, you see that they've got to be able to stop that transition, some easy threes in transition, but really the ability to get good shots for the big fella down low, Sean Feltz, and then get everyone else involved from there. But what a great high school basketball game. I mean, 33-29. We talked about this all throughout the first half. This is exactly what we expected. This back and forth, haymakers being thrown early, trying to see if you can knock the other guy out. But the reality is this is how the third quarter is going to go. And down into the fourth quarter, we're going to have to see who can execute the best.
Yeah, and it's just that, the execution. You know, we saw from Crimson Cliff something that we don't see too often in just high school basketball in general. I would say Crimson Cliffs, but it's just in general. A couple of backdoor cuts that led to scores. You don't see that a lot. You don't see a lot of that off-the-ball movement, and then whoever is on the ball to be able to get it and get it to them well enough. That's one of those things that we don't see a lot. Crimson pulled it off twice, got 4 points off of it. I like that. I want to see a little more of that.
Exactly. You know, and I think this, again, this is only the second region game for these teams. And so you're still trying to figure out some things. It'll be a lot more interesting when we see each other in the second half and how these teams do adjustments and so forth. But I think early on, a 4-point game doesn't feel like anybody, you know, when Crimson was up 5 and 6, it didn't feel like they were pulling away. Now the Snow Canyon's up 3 or 4, it doesn't feel like Crimson's out of it. And so I think that's what we're going to get here in the third and fourth quarters. And again, who can execute down the stretch? Who can get and limit those offensive rebounds, get out into transition, make the right plays, limit turnovers, and do all the things of winning basketball?
Absolutely. Real quick, let's get into our Nets on Fire scoreboard, a look across Region 9. Halftime scores from the other games here in Region play. So over at Desert Hills High School, that score right now, 43-26. Desert Hills is up over Cedar at the moment. And halftime between Dixie and Hurricane. We know Dixie is good, but wow, this score. Dixie 50, Hurricane 13. They're taking it to the Tigers right now. And both of those games are available to watch over on the fansportsnetwork.com. Here's how I like to do it. Just mute all of the games. You can have all three of them on the same page playing at the same time. You just have to scroll a little and you can watch all the games all at once on one page. It's pretty awesome.
I mean, I'd hate to see someone mute you and I, Caden, but
yeah, they can keep us on. How's that sound?
I'm sure people have done it. But here's the great thing. I mean, like, Dixie is one of those teams that they don't show any mercy. They beat Cypress, I think it was 96-27 or something crazy like that early in the season. They're a team, and it's not so much about Hurricane. It's not saying Hurricane's not a good team. It's just Dixie, if they've got you on the ropes, they go for knockout punches. Not just once, but the rest of the game.
Right.
They only play about 6 or 7 guys, and they go end line to end line from start to finish. And then, of course, you have Desert Hills and Cedar, you know, two teams that I think you're going to see, you know, needing to beat one or the other throughout the season as they see them in the second half, because I think you're going to see them in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th spots. But great job. It sounds like Jackson Holman on fire from downtown. The 3-ball, you know, we've seen it in the NBA, we've seen it in college, and we're seeing it in high school. It's the great equalizer, right? You can make up for deficiencies. We saw it from Utah Tech as they upset in women's basketball the Oregon Ducks, because they shot 68% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, you know, you make your 3-pointers. Who knows? You can change the outcome of a game. Otherwise, that maybe wouldn't have gone your way. You can change that outcome. And you know, tonight you look at the game right here, Snow Canyon High School. The Warriors have made, off the top of my head,
7.
I was going to say about 6, so I'll give you 7. There you go, 7 3-pointers tonight. That's potentially the game changer right there. And a lot of those through the second quarter, and that gives them the lead here at the half, 33-29. So, again, this is just a great opportunity for Snow Canyon as they've hit some of those big 3-point shots. But Crimson Cliffs, of course, not ready to bow out yet. Still a very close game, a 4-point game. Should be a great second half coming up.
And one more thing just to note, you know, we talked about containing Owen Mackey, and I think he's got 6 points at this juncture. But what's been interesting is how it's not so much the scoring of a great player. It's can he find his teammates, right? And they've done such a great job of when a double team comes, of getting out of it, getting it quick, rotating the ball to the opposite side where they've had that corner 3. And really, you got to give them credit, because that's what's cool about a guy like Owen Mackey is he doesn't have to beat you with just points. It can be the passing, it can be the attention-grabbing nature of his play. And so, great job. I think if you're Snow Canyon and you're sitting in the locker room right now, you're saying, guys, more of the same thing. And if you're Crimson, you're saying probably one thing: stop letting them shoot open threes.
Yeah.
Because if they made even 30-40%, which most teams average, they're probably up 7 or 8 points. Instead, they're down 4 going into the second half.
That's exactly right. So, again, at the half here inside the Rally Stop halftime show, 33-29. One of the other things I want to talk about for just a second here, Ben, let's talk about those Red Rock Real Estate rebounds. Ooh. We've seen a couple of rebounds on the offensive side that have led back to points. I think offensive rebounds might be a little bit more of a key than we have discussed through the first half, just because, again, they are right now leading to some points. I like to see some of those put-back shots, and we're seeing a few of them. And specifically, the Warriors have had a really good run with getting some of those put-back shots. I will say this, though, about the Mustangs. Some of their putbacks have led to some and ones, so they're earning some extra points from the line as well. So on both sides, could be one of those factors coming into the second half.
Absolutely, great point. I think it's one of those things where you're always preaching as a coach, limit second chance opportunities. You know, another one of the storylines is Campbell in foul trouble early there. You know, Iloa came on and really did a great job down low, being physical with Sean. And so what a great first half of high school basketball. I can't wait to see what happens in the second half.
Absolutely. We're going to take a minute break. We'll be back for the second half when we return here on the Fan Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
Here we see the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs as they are trailing 29-33 here, but they will get the ball to start the second half.
And you know, Caden, we talk so much about this great Region 9. Let's not forget about the Fan Sports Network being the home of the Utah Tech Trailblazers as they take on WAC opponent Grand Canyon tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the Burns Arena. Make sure and show out for that on a Saturday night. Let's go, Blazers.
Right. Absolutely right. You know what? I'll tell you what, Ben. I actually have a few pairs of tickets on me in my backpack right now. If you know someone that's at this game, tell them to come see me. I'll give them a couple tickets. I don't care. I'll give them a few tickets to the game.
I like it.
Quick basket on the other side after the steal leads to a Snow Canyon score. They go up 35-29.
And it looks like I'm kind of with the ref. I'm sitting here going, is the clock right? That seems like a long 23 seconds. And that's the play again. You hate to see it because Trevor Taylor makes a great move. It looks like just a little bit of a miss. Sean Felt's almost a dunk follow-up. But what happens is they get stuck in transition. They get an easy basket going back and almost a 4-point swing out of the gate.
Taylor has the ball on one side. Takes it over to the other to Lindquist on the left. He comes right back up top of it. And Marsden. Marsden look for the screen from Feltz. Back to Feltz, hands off back to Marsden. He'll drive it inside, has a lane off the glass and in for two.
What a great game for Noah Marsden, being so aggressive and attacking. Again, I would always say on defense, make sure you take away the strong hand of any player, great or mediocre.
Kelsch trying to get it in. It's stolen away by Carroll. He outlets to Feltz. Feltz puts on the brakes, and they will call the travel.
And that was a little bit, as you see, Snow Canyon coach down there saying, whew, thank goodness, because that would have been his third. As it looks like him trying to avoid the foul, as we see on the replay, almost made it in travel.
Crossing the timeline.
Crimson a little bit of a three-quarter court zone trap there.
Mackey with it up top, over to Entz, who takes the three. He is on another Cache Valley Bank three-pointer, Damon Entz.
And you almost wonder if maybe a zone wouldn't be a good idea at this point to get in a little bit of like a 3-2 or a 1-3-1 to try and take away those angles.
Kick out, Carroll for three, and it's good. He did that before, an answer back three-pointer.
And a much-needed basket there, too, as it looks like going to see a lot of counters here. Looks like we have a little bit of a slow score keep there. I looked up, I think it's 31, and it still hadn't turned, but we finally get it up there. 38-34, just over 6 minutes.
Elbow jumper off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound, Carroll. Outlet to Lindquist. He puts on the brakes and tries to kick out, but it's tipped away. It'll stay down low on the baseline with the Mustangs.
And you see the Crimson coach, Scott Murdoch, down there saying, Just shoot it. You're wide open. And sometimes kids get a little too unselfish, and sometimes they need to take the wide open one.
Sometimes it's those sophomore mistakes, you know, those sophomore things you have to learn through as you get some of these varsity minutes. As Carroll takes the jumper, no good. Fights for his own rebound, gets it.
And that's what you're talking about, those second chance points just right there.
Red Rock Real Estate rebounds. And throwing the ball away. Mustangs cannot capitalize on their second chance.
Again, I love to talk about the fundamentals. As you come off, it's so hard to change the course of direction of a one-handed pass. That's why we always preach, use it and pass it with two, shoot it with one.
Kelsch gets the ball across. He crosses over to Mackey, who's been somewhat quiet tonight as he goes up with the left hand. No good. Rebounded by Feltz, and he outlets to Carroll. Carroll into the corner. Lindquist takes the three. No good. A little long, and the ball will land out of bounds. It'll go with the Warriors.
A little long, Caden. Might be a little generous. Those are the ones where I'd always say, that was a lob.
Yeah, that's right. It was a pass. It was a pass. Just nobody came for the pass. Breaking the defense inside, trying to pass it out, and guess who's there? It's Marsden, and it's a stolen ball by the Mustangs. Carroll goes up with it, and he is fouled. He'll draw the foul, and he'll head to the line.
Great job of Drake Carroll being so active already in the second half. Even with 2 fouls, he's just had such active hands. Noah Marsden started that one, and Drake Carroll will try and finish it with 2 free throws.
With Carroll at the line, the foul goes against Mackey, his first. Makes the first. That takes our score 38-35 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard with 5:03 on the clock here in the third. Carroll makes both.
And just like that, 38-36, just over 5 minutes in the third. Got a great ball game, Kate. I'm going to keep saying it because it's true.
It's a solid ball game tonight. Kel's trying to go cross-court pass, and it's stolen away by the Mustangs. On the outlet to Taylor. Taylor to Lindquist. He goes up with the right hand and in for 2. Beautiful
I love it
play.
when the ball doesn't touch the floor. Great passing by the Mustangs. Unselfish play leads to transition baskets.
And see if we can get the transition here. The tipped.
Great heads-up play by Marsden. Gets it up the floor. Touch pass and the layup acrobatic.
The layup on the background. Getting it to go. Beautiful play there by the Mustangs. And Mackey on the drive into the baseline. He's double team, kicks out. Campbell pushes it up with the left hand. No good. It's tipped into the front row. It'll be Mustang basketball.
And if you're Owen Mackey, you can't get frustrated here. They're keying in on you. You're the center of attention. Take your time, slow down, don't force anything. Great pass to the trailing Campbell. That's one he's going to make more than he's going to miss.
Tied ball game, 38 apiece, with Feltz in the ball up top. Over to Marsden on the right side. He goes back up top. Taylor looking down low to Feltz. Feltz quickly pushes it to the rim. No good. Offensive board. No good by Drake Carroll. And here come the Warriors. Mackey, left wing, going up top. Campbell swinging it over to Kelsch. And he'll go back up top to Owen Mackey. He'll drive in against Feltz. Blocked away by Sean Feltz. No, a foul.
And Sean Feltz can't believe it. I'm a little bit surprised. Do we have a chance to see this one on the replay?
Let's see if we've...
Wow.
Ooh. Personally, that felt clean.
I think the ref was human, and he makes mistakes too.
First one, no good.
The kids are yelling, ball doesn't lie, but I don't believe in that. Just a missed free throw.
Just looked again there on the replay, on the Holbrook Asphalt replay, and I'm not so sure. I think he got it all ball, but...
But you gotta credit him. Challenging the big fella, goes up, he's aggressive, and sometimes you're gonna get that, and sometimes you're not. So he makes 1 of 2. Caden, we got a 39-38, just under 5 minutes. Region 9 basketball.
We're seeing a few of those Findlay Subaru free throws. 1-and-1s right there. One made, one missed. As the ball's stolen away, Reggie Mackey, and they wanted the lob, and it's broken up.
I don't know if the statistician will give him a block there, but I think you and I think that was probably going to be a lob to the big 2-4 coming down.
We know what was coming.
To drop the hammer.
Here it is on the replay. Maybe we can catch it or not. It might be on the tail end, but there's the steal. Is the ball now stolen?
And turnovers, a little bit of a problem for Snow Canyon.
And an offensive foul is the call.
And I preach the fundamentals as much as anybody will listen. That's a great chance. Come to the jump stop, lift him in the air, and then shoot it.
And a timeout taken with 3:36 left to play here in the third. It's a 30-second timeout. We will keep it right here. And I feel like this game is getting a little, I wouldn't want to say sloppy necessarily. It's just getting a little more intense. The defense is picking up. The offense pushing so hard, they're drawing those offensive fouls. It happens. This game's getting a little bit more intense. It's a one-point ball game.
Well, this is what you expect, right? We talk about this. Region is here. It is time. The building is more full with fans and students. The energy is back into the ballparks and the high school gyms across America. It's January 2024. You're going to see the excitement. You're going to see the enthusiasm. You're certainly going to see a few turnovers in high school basketball, but I credit it more to athletic and heads-up plays than just mistakes.
Absolutely. Ball inbound from the Warriors. Kelsch will bring it up. Across the timeline, spins around. Over to Owen Mackey. He'll take the open three and drops it in.
And I think that's a guy you can't really leave open.
And on the other side, getting a bucket as well. Just for two, though. No answer back on the three.
You see, when they trap on that far side, the weak side guy is going to be guarding two guys. He's got to bait and trap a guy. He can't just sell out to one guy.
And Mackey again creates space down low and gets two against Taylor.
And you see, just like that, 6 straight for Mackey as he looks to be warming up.
Taylor gets the ball off of Sean Feltz in the pick. He pushes up for two from the foul line.
A great move there. They love to run that pass to handoff action at the high post for Sean.
Mackey losing a handle on it, gets it back up, hands off to Kelsch on the right side. Looking for a screen. Kelsch takes a step inside, nowhere to go with it. Kicks
I think he had a foot in the lane there. I think that's one where...
It's one where they could call it as the turnaround jumper, no good. And a quick outlet, Feltz dunks it down, and one. Sean Feltz with what, for now, is our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker play of the game.
Caden,
I think it'll hold.
Now?
I'm waiting
that might be one of the best of the year. Whew. My goodness, tell me the replay gods have got that for us.
Oh, we have it on replay. Boom.
Do. And Iloa, you've got to give it to the young guy, because I like that he went up to try and challenge that. You know, students, they were going to probably say you got dunked on, but for that one, that's just a great individual jam right there.
Amazing play.
Now, what did they call here?
There's some sort of a technical free throw, I assume here.
For taunting?
Not exactly sure what the exact call was.
Yeah, I don't know. And they called a hanging on the rim technical. I'm sorry. What do you expect?
He didn't hang on the rim at all.
The guy to do.
He didn't hang on the rim. Okay. They're saying it was hanging on the rim, but I will say this: he did not hang on the rim.
Now, Caden, I hope that wasn't a hanging on the rim technical. I'm going to have to get a hold of the local officiating office and say, let me send you the clip from the Fan Sports Network, because we see Owen Mackey cooking on offense right now.
Yes, he is.
As he has 10
bucket.
straight points.
Bucket after bucket for Owen Mackey. Into the corner, Drake Carroll takes the three, no good. Out of bounds, it will not stay. I thought that was off of the hands of Reggie Mackey.
And I've just got clarification. That's for taunting by Big Sean Feltz. And
okay, it's. And they're a little more hardcore on taunting in high school.
We obviously couldn't hear it from up here. Maybe some words were said, but man, what a great play. I hate to see the refs intervene.
Yeah, that's tough in a foul down low. I believe that's going to go against Murdoch.
Something to watch here as we see Crimson pick up their 4th team foul with just over 1:30, 47-45 for Snow Canyon. The next foul will, of course, be in that double bonus, new high school rule this year. You can watch this. They're going to try a little duck in for Owen.
And Owen, he'll take the 3. No good. Rebounded by Drake Carroll. Carroll will drive in, kick out. Back out to Carroll. He'll take the 3. It's good.
And give a lot of credit to Drake Carroll. This is a guy who has put a lot of time into his jumper and shoots it confidently. 48-47, Caden. That's the first Crimson lead.
And the drive inside off the baseline, no good, but he does draw the foul.
As you see Coach Murdoch yelling, you've got to get over. You can't hug your man on that weak side if you're watching at home, if you're watching anything related to basketball. You can't hug your guy. The only thing that can score is the ball. Be in help, be in the gaps, help your teammate out. Team defense wins, individual is a plus.
Tied ball game, 48 apiece. 1:02 left to go in the 3rd quarter on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard as Mackey can extend the lead here with the next free throw. And no, does not, but are they saying lane violation?
I think they're going to let him shoot another one.
Lane violation against
I
Taylor.
think you could have called it on anybody there at that point. It looked like 2 or 3 guys going the way he kind of has that delayed release. But this is the 11 straight points for Owen Mackey, and this could potentially be his 12th. Of course, a couple of those technical free throws on a taunting call. Raised eyebrows.
And that one does go.
And that's a guy that he's not going to miss 2 foul shots. 12 straight points for Owen Mackey. What a great game. 49-48, Caden. 1 minute left.
What a game.
3rd quarter.
49-48. Owen Mackey with 19. Iloa will head to the bench. And here comes Carroll for the Mustangs. To Murdoch. Back to Murdoch. Quick pass to Feltz. Now
and Region 9 MVP, still Barbin in the game. Great athlete, great teammate.
Murdoch, he'll take the 17-footer, no good. Tipped around, and a foul is called on the floor.
Well, I hate to have the announcer jinx, but again, that's one you got to let go just because it's 2 shots now, Caden. That's the 5th team foul in the quarter. That means you're sending the big fella to the line for 2 freebies. And also, that's his 3rd foul. Of course, in high school, you get 5, so you still got a little playroom in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, definitely a big foul indeed, as that'll send Campbell to the line. With Campbell at the line, end of the 3rd quarter, a little bit of an update for you. Desert Hills High School. Desert Hills has pushed that lead up 70-37 at the end of the 3rd over there, which, by the way, that does give us our Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert. Just because we haven't hit 55 here doesn't mean you don't get it, just as long as a team in Region 9 scores 55. So you will get that Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert.
Okay. Thank you, Holbrook Asphalt. And a chance here. This is a great strategic move. You give Owen Mackey, there's 42 seconds left. You're on defense. Give him a break so that he's ready to rock and roll for the 4th quarter.
Nelson nearly losing the ball, kicking it out now. As Carroll in the corner drives inside. And Feltz nearly with the putback dunk, but no.
Interesting how those runs can go. Probably a smart time. Another great move here. You get one more look at it. You say, okay, let's put it in the hands of our best player and let him create and put pressure on the defense.
And a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. And this is just great basketball right now from both of these teams. Both of these teams right now are finding ways to score in one way or another. The offense right now working through Owen Mackey for the Warriors. And for the Mustangs, I would say it's creative offense. They're finding ways to get open shots. And I know there was a missed shot just barely by Carroll, but that was a good shot and a very heads-up play by Feltz on the putback. Yes, it missed, but that's what Crimson's doing to stay in this game.
You're going to get those more than you're going to get misses on that. Here's what's great, though, is it's like, you know, we've not had a chance to talk much about it, but Crimson's missing their starting point guard, a guy that scores about 17 or 18 a game, and they're in a 1-point ball game with Snow Canyon. Now, another thing to think about here, I like when a coach calls a timeout and tries to get one more play off and you're running a man defense to just mix it up. You suddenly throw a zone or you trap at them just to try and distort and disrupt the timeout play they just drew up.
No shot clock with 22.9.
And I would look to see him on a post up here, especially if he has Drake Carroll, as Drake tries to keep him off the block early. I think you're going to see this where they're going to try and swing it around and get it to him on the block with about 4 or 5 seconds left to operate.
8 seconds now, and there it is, Mackey on the block against Carroll. He goes up, baseline, spins it back out with his right hand, pushes it in for 2. And that extends the lead to 51-48. Owen Mackey again getting the job done and extending that lead as we head into the fourth quarter.
And Caden, his 14th straight points.
It's ridiculous. Owen Mackey as we go to the fourth quarter. 51-48 on the Wilkes House Lighting scoreboard. 30-second break. We'll be back right after this.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Here we go into the fourth quarter here on the Fan Sports Network. Just barely had one of our local listeners and viewers come over and say exactly what we said. I said I had a couple tickets for the game, for the Utah Tech game, and he said, hey, I heard you have tickets. And I said, I absolutely do. So I gave him some tickets.
I'll tell you what, the power of
happens.
Radio in a market like Southern Utah, my goodness, thousands of people tune in and listen each week. What a great opportunity. Thank you, fans, for listening and giving us a chance to do this on a Friday night.
Absolutely. The Warriors get the ball here to start off in the fourth quarter. 51-48 is your score as we get things rolling here. And Smith with the ball up top for the Warriors, looking to get it to Mackey. Down low, Campbell. He'll go up strong with the left hand for 2.
And it looked like just a little bit of a misunderstanding on matchups there. Someone found themselves in no man's land. And again, even in a zone, Caden, you've got to find a guy. You can't guard space. You have to guard a man.
Feltz, he'll take the 8-footer, and that's good. Feltz with the soft touch.
Maybe the most difficult shot that he's hit. 53-50, wow.
Mackey with the ball up top over to Kelsch. Kelsch now to Campbell. Campbell looking to get it inside. Mackey, corner 3. Launches it, no good. Rebounded by Barbin. He'll drive the ball up for the Mustangs. Over to Murdoch. Murdoch with the lane on the left side. He'll go up with it and is fouled.
And a great job attacking there by the sophomore off the bench, a guy that early in the season in the JV game scored 40 points. I don't care who you are, 40 in 32 minutes means you're doing something right.
That's
and it
tough.
looks like that might be on Campbell, yeah, for his 3rd.
And it's good. 2-point ball game, 53-51.
I think you'll see. Looks like we've got too many guys on the floor there. I think we got one for the shooter. A good job by Still Barbin there, giving some quality minutes. What an athlete. Amazing to me that that guy is not on a signed scholarship somewhere. One of the most winning players in Crimson Cliff's history. 2 baseball state championships, 1 football state championship, and a great kid.
Hey, and a visit to the state championship the year before as well, so.
Played in 3 of them in football.
Yeah, he's played in plenty.
Probably another chance in baseball, as we'll be covering high school basketball as well this year.
Lindquist back to Taylor, back to Lindquist. Now Taylor takes a straightaway 3, rattles it, no good. Lindquist gets the rebound, and he'll hand off to Murdoch. He drives in, has a lane, can't get it to go. Lindquist will spin back out and they'll reset.
A lot of close passing and hard shots. And that one, Trevor, that's his sweet spot. That little one dribble going left, pull up right-handed jumper. And a second chance point, as you talked about, that offensive rebound. Drake Carroll, underrated offensive rebounder from that 2 spot.
And that gives the Mustangs the lead as well, 54-53. Mackey with the ball down low. It's tipped around, and a foul will go against Carroll, I believe. No, they'll give it against Murdoch.
They're going to give that to Murdoch, and I think even though it's the coach's son, I think he's going to be sitting there going, I don't care who you are. I don't think you fouled him.
Mackey takes the inbound pass. He'll hand off to Entz. Over to Kelsch. Kelsch on the drive in. Back out to Mackey. Mackey baseline. He goes up strong with it. And one.
Now, this is what's interesting to me is maybe we get a chance to look at the replay is there is no restricted circle in high school basketball. I think you're going to find that big 3-1 was in position. Hardest call in basketball as that goes down for a 55-54 lead to send Owen Mackey to the line.
5:44 left on the clock. Mackey gets it to go after a rattle around the rim.
2-point ball game with just over 5, Caden. Let's go. Feels a little like maybe overtime tonight.
Kind of feels like we're fixing to get one of those games as a foul call comes, and now Carroll will head to the line.
And some early fouls here as both teams will go into with 2. (56-54). I'll tell you what, if someone else in the region didn't do it tonight, we did it here for that Holbrook dessert at Yogurtland. Fill them up on the way home. Tell them you heard it here. And tell Holbrook Asphalt a big thank you as Drake Carroll makes that first of 2 to make it a 1-point game.
And the second one is also good. Finley Subaru free throws, both of them go, and we have ourselves a tied ball game. 5.5 minutes left to play. Entz getting it down low to Iloa. No. Ball is overthrown. It's picked up by Murdoch.
And some quality minutes by Murdoch, who's a good rebounder. And as we talk about as the 3 goes in the air. Ooh,
no
that one just looked like it might be good.
Stolen away, though, immediately. They'll give him the travel. I think he's got to have possession of it before you can give him the travel call. He has to gather himself when he's on a full sprint.
I don't
call.
like to see the refs get so involved in this type of thing. It's like, let the kids play. That one, he didn't even have possession of it. Come on.
Yeah, that one's rough. Iloa, ball's tipped. It's no.
And what are they going to?
A foul called against Murdoch.
Oh, no, and you hate to see this. Iloa, and that hurt ankle. Looked like Murdoch might have fallen on it just a little bit. Looks like he's going to walk it off, but it looks like he's a little ginger on that. You hate to see him with any kind of hitch in his step.
Ball inbounds to Iloa. Over to Kelsch.
And we haven't seen many of the 3-pointers that were so deadly in that first half, and subsequently we have a tied ball game.
And Murdoch against Mackey.
Wow.
He's got to keep it a little careful as Mackey gets it to go. Lindquist over to Marsden. Now in the corner, Murdoch missed. And it looks like the Warriors will now slow things down just a little bit. And another foul, this time again, going against Travis Murdoch. That gives him his 5th foul. So off the bench, 5 fouls. He's done for the night.
Okay. Well, great minutes off the bench. I know he missed the last 3, but I certainly from a defensive standpoint, he held his own. Energy was really good. And it's just they've called it tighter here in the 4th quarter already. But this is what you hate to see is 14 fouls for Crimson, 2 for Snow Canyon. So close here to that 5th foul, which means double bonus. You'd hate to see this thing settle with foul shots the rest of the way.
With the timeout, we'll take a quick 30-second break ourselves. We'll be back right after this.
Scooters Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee, anytime is a good time to sip and smile. Scooters Coffee, open 7 days a week.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that could make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
2-point ball game. Snow Canyon leads here in the jungle. 4:38 on the clock as we are deep into the 4th quarter now, and a close ball game. Travis Murdoch is fouled out, the sophomore. But after putting up some really solid minutes off the bench, one of those that will be a candidate for the Jersey Mike sub of the game for sure.
Got to believe a play drawn up here to get Owen Mackey the ball, probably on the block. He likes this. He actually likes both sides of that block, but he prefers that far side.
Iloa takes a step inside, hands it back off to Smith.
As you can see, they're just kind of waiting until they get the right position. And I think Sean can double off of him because Iloa's not going to make, as Mackey just goes strongman mode on him there.
And Mackey's learned he can go against Taylor. As Mackey goes in, it's stripped away. He gets it right back and puts it up for 2. And a stolen ball by Kelsch off the inbound pass and fouled. Warriors, this could be a 6-point swing here in a matter of just seconds. Heads up play by Trey Kelsch, stealing the ball off of the inbound pass.
It just goes to show you there's a reason he's a Division I player. He's been so dominant in the second half. By my mark, that's his 18th point in the second half. And the difference maker, where it was the 3-pointers in the first, it's the play of Owen Mackey in the second half. And some of the turnovers and carelessness of Crimson there the last 2 plays.
And it's Lindquist with the ball, bringing it across from right to left side. Marsden on the drive, has an open lane. Puts it in for 2.
Pretty athletic move there, strong hand, he's pretty deadly. But they needed that to cut it to 6, 64-58 with just over 3:30. Got to believe they're going to get it to Owen Mackey on that block again.
Getting it down low now is Iloa. Ooh, and he throws it into the second row of the drummers.
The drummer says, hey, I can't catch that. I got one hand with the drumsticks.
I just want to get the band involved a little bit.
But to his credit, he did get it. He did catch it, that drummer.
He did catch it.
We should go give him some tickets to the Utah Tech game tomorrow against Grand Canyon. 7 p.m. tip-off at Burns Arena. Come on.
Grand Canyon, one of the top-ranked teams in the nation, not just in the WAC. As Taylor will take the 3. No good. Put back. Heads-up move and 1. And Noah Marsden.
Noah Marsden, a breath of fresh air for this Crimson team. A guy who came off the bench for most of the season has stepped into that starting role with his 15th point. Of course, we have Owen Mackey with 30 tonight.
And no good on the free throw. It's a 4-point ball game with just over 3 minutes left to play. 23 points up there for Carroll, 15 for Marsden. And right now, Mackey with, get this, 30.
A 30-piece is pretty impressive. Drake Carroll not doing too shabby himself. He's got 23.
Smith, no good. It's tipped. It'll stay.
And
with
this is,
Warriors.
We got to get Sean, as you see Sean, he's leaking out. It's like, big fella, you're the biggest guy in the court. Get down there and get the board. You'll get the dunks on the other end. Be patient.
He wants those big dunks, and you know, he has our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game. That's locked in the bag at this moment.
Playmaker Play of the Year, Caden, potentially? I mean, you got to be kidding me. What a great play as they try a little duck in, backdoor lob for Mackey. Well defended by Trevor Taylor there.
Down low, Mackey, he's picked up on the double team, dribbles out of it.
See, let him shoot that. Like, if you're Sean.
And Feltz will pick up a foul.
This is where you've got to know your player. Iloa, not an explosive three-point shooter. Unlike most of the Snow Canyon team, ball skips over. He trays him too close. Gets it in there for that and one, as we see on the replay here. Again, just give him a little bit of space. What are you closing out for? There you go. You had him.
And the and one is good. It's a 7-point ball game. Went from 4 to 7 just like that. And now Taylor brings it up.
And we'll see if Crimson has another run in him, Caden, as Snow Canyon's really been able to be so explosive here in this third and fourth quarter.
Taylor with a step inside. He's picked up on the double team. Threads the needle to Carroll. He pushes up a shot. I think he's trying to draw the foul there, but no whistle. And now Kelsch swings it over to Iloa.
And
2
you'll
minutes.
see Snow Canyon now here saying, just take it nice and slow. 7 points in this ball game feels like 15 or 20. And they'll be making sure to tell them, let's wear all the shot clock down and then get it to Owen Mackey, or in this case, Iloa.
Iloa putting the footwork in, and he gets to 69-60. And the Mustangs just have to get some points rolling here with 1:30 left to play in a 9-point ball game. Felts is down low with it. Foul called and one for Felts.
And I love to see this sportsmanship. Iloa, he reaches over and he gives the big fella a pat on the back and says, great play.
Timeout taken by the Mustangs. And I believe it's going to be a full timeout here. So we will take a quick 30-second break ourselves, and we'll return after this message from our local partners.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Red Ledges Dermatology and Med Spa, specializing in general and cosmetic dermatology, treating acne, rashes, warts, and more. They even do cancer screenings and offer a free chemical pill with your first appointment. So if you need dermatology, think Red Ledges Dermatology, located just off Snow Canyon Parkway, St. George.
We've got ourselves a final score across town here inside of our Boulevard home game of the week on the Fan Sports Network. Dixie 87, Hurricane 40. Dixie with the big win over the Tigers. And right now, Desert Hills is up on Cedar 72-48. In this game, it's close, 69-62. Snow Canyon on top, but Sean Felts is at the line with the and one.
And it looks like Coach Murdoch's trying a little offense for defense subbing here as they'll hopefully get the free throw from Sean Felts, make it a 6-point game.
No, but the offensive rebound by Noah Nelson. And the three by Marsden.
Wow. What a game the senior is having. His 15th point, and they're calling a timeout saying, oh, I thought they were going to say it was on the line, Caden.
They did call the timeout. Only 2 timeouts left, so that now makes it 1 timeout left. That's a tough timeout to lose, but I understand the call. There wasn't much you could do in that situation. 69-65. And a full timeout taken. We'll keep it right here for this one, where we want to take this opportunity to thank some of our great local partners. One of those being Handel's Ice Cream. They're open late 7 days a week. You can stop by for the best ice cream on the planet. And Intercap Lending. Scott Gibson has a loan for you and competitive rates, exceptional service. Give him a call, 435-619-8080. And coming up here shortly, we will have our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show where you can stick around and hear our final comments on the game tonight. This one has been a doozy, I'll tell you that. 69-65 right now, the Warriors lead. It's been lead changes. It's been big plays. It's been some tough basketball from both sides as the Warriors will control the basketball here coming out of the timeout with 1:14 left to go.
Expect to see some kind of trap. Obviously, they have in a full court here, whether it's that little jump trap that they're trying throughout parts of the third quarter. The crowd has come alive as well, Cade. What a great environment for high school basketball.
I love this. We've got both teams doing the chant. And a foul call. This time it's Noah Marsden who will pick it up. And that'll send Mackey to the line.
I think I'm okay with the foul, just not on that guy.
He's a tough one to lose right now, but that is his first foul. And but you don't want Mackey at the line. You know, it's a tough spot to be in where if you need to foul, don't necessarily foul the guy that's got 31 points.
A great second half performance by Owen Mackey, potentially our playmaker, not playmaker, our Ace Hardware
player of the game, yeah.
With just over 112, 70-65, Crimson is gonna have to get some quick points. But look, it's still just a 2-possession game, Caden. So if you could go down here, get a wide open 3, like a draw and kick, or something inside, it's a 4-point game, and then you can foul somebody other than Owen Mackey, of course.
Lindquist pulls it back out to Marsden. Up top is Carroll. Carroll. Hold. What are they calling there? A little bit of a grab there.
This, just as we talked about, here's going to be 2 freebies for Carroll, is he'll have a chance to get 25, which I believe will be his career high in high school basketball. Great game for him tonight, coming off of a game he had to miss against Dixie.
Now, the interesting thing about this foul call here, especially late in the possession, even if he makes both of them, that still keeps it a 2-possession ball game. So the foul call here is better in some ways than that 3-point shot, because at least you're keeping it to a 2-possession game with exactly 1 minute left on the clock.
Exactly.
So I don't mind that foul right there from Snow Canyon. And he does make both.
25 for Drake Carroll. Great individual performance for him tonight.
Kelsch crosses the timeline, gets smacky, quick pass to Smith, who holds on to the ball. 50 seconds left to go. Double team trapped. Nowhere to go with it. He falls through it, and the foul goes against Taylor.
Better look at the replay on that one, too. And I think sometimes as an official,
I did not catch it. Just
you're trying too hard to anticipate in this type of situation, but they're not specifically trying to foul. You have to go, okay, is it a foul or does it look like a foul? Because that's where a great official is made, as we see that first free throw made to go 72-67 with 48 seconds left on a Friday night here in the jungle.
The second free throw.
You just get the feeling, though, Caden, that Crimson's going to have to do something explosive, and I don't understand that going for a foul there.
Marsden will take the 3. Got it! Wow! A timeout taken. It bounced for 10 years on that rim before it finally dropped in.
Unbelievable shot by Noah Marsden, a guy who reminds me of Vinny the Microwave Johnson, who is just instant hot offense right now for the Crimson Cliffs, as he gets a career high school playoff high of 21 points. And we said in the pregame, the Team D Auto pregame, where are those extra points going to come in replacing Scoop Johnson, 16 or 17 a game? And so far, they've come from the senior Noah Marsden. Great performance to make this a 2-point game with under a minute left on a Friday night. What more could we ask for? We said maybe this could go to overtime. It still kind of has that feel. It still really does kind of have that feel. There's 35 seconds still on a shot clock. Caden, do you play for a defensive stop? Do you try and get somebody other than Owen Mackey and Entz and Smith and foul them and see if you can, I don't know, maybe get them to miss one of those 2 free throws? This is what's so interesting about that automatic 2-shot rule now, is that no longer can you foul a guy to get that 1-and-1. You really have to think about who you're fouling and when.
Oh, and that makes me wonder, because it's 3 seconds between shot clock and game clock. So there is a little bit of strategy that comes into play here. Maybe you do go for that foul and try to get a situation where it's a make one, miss one. As Smith gets the ball, and jump ball may be the call. Jump ball is the call. It is possession, Mustangs.
Great job by J.J. Eaton, the junior, who is an explosive athletic guy, a great family pedigree of athleticism, an older brother, Jordan Eaton, one of the best Crimson basketball players in the Cliffs history. The Mustangs, I'll tell you what, they've had some good athletes already in their young careers.
Inbound, going up with Marsden's fouled.
And how about this, Caden?
We could tie it up right here. 35.1 seconds on the clock. Noah Nelson is set to check in. Noah Marsden set to go to the line. And he makes the first. A 1-point game on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard, 72-71. Nelson comes in for Lindquist, and Marsden is back at the line for his second Finley Subaru free throw. And it's good, tied ball game. And remember, Snow Canyon has 1 timeout left. Crimson Cliffs with 2 timeouts left.
You gotta believe here that if you're Snow Canyon, you're gonna take the last shot. and it's got to be a guy like Owen Mackey. Put it in the hands of your best player, a senior, a state champion, a Division I talent. Oh my
and a big foul call. Noah Nelson getting a little too excited. 27 seconds left, and that will send the Warriors to the line.
And that's a hard one. You know, they've called it so tight. Sometimes as a player, you got to kind of make adjustments and go, okay, they're calling this game a little bit tighter. But these are some pressure-packed free throws, and you got plenty of time on the clock. In the event that he makes both of these, Crimson will have a chance
to
win this ball game. And do you get to the last shot? I don't think so. I think you go with about 8 or 7. I'm assuming Crimson will call a timeout and set something up. This is one where I'll tell you, we said this could go overtime.
It still could. One missed free throw there, the second on the way. Also missed, rebounded by the Mustangs. Tied ball game, Mustang basketball, 22 seconds left. Lindquist brings it up.
And you got to believe that this is just...
And nowhere to go with it, kicks out Feltz from the elbow. Good for 2.
Wow.
10 seconds left. Here come the Warriors. Kelch on the drive. And a timeout is taken on the floor with 7 seconds left to go. The final timeout from the Warriors.
Saved an offensive foul on the Warriors as they leveled Trevor Taylor. Wow.
Just about. The timeout came before Taylor. And again, another full timeout here. We'll keep it here and just live in the moment for a little bit with this 2-point ball game in the Warriors basketball as they are trailing by that basket that they need to either tie it up or give them the lead through the final seconds of this ball game. What a game to kick off region play here in 2024.
I'm a little bit speechless. I thought maybe that was going a little bit too early. I still think that if you're 72-72 and it's under the shot clock time, you wait to get that last second shot. Now, I don't want to give it the announcer jinx, which I don't believe in, but this is where if you're in this Crimson Cliffs huddle, you're saying, do not let a 3 beat you. Do not let an and 1 beat you. If you're going to foul and get out of position, you make sure the shot doesn't get up. Do not let a guy get a wide open 3, because there is only one thing that beats you. It's a 3-pointer. And Snow Canyon, after having 7 3-pointers, ends up only having 1 so far in the second half, in the event that Crimson can get out of this with just a 2-point shot being taken. But they're probably a duck in here in a one-on-one isolation.
Up top of this, Smith. Mackey will take the 3. Yes! Owen Mackey, the buzzer beater.
And I think the refs are going to say...
The refs are saying the game's not over. The refs are saying the game is not over. They want to add time back to the clock. The crowd rushes the floor, but the game is not over. What a turn of events.
Wow. Like, I don't know what else to say other than what a gutsy play and trusting. You're in the huddle with your Snow Canyon, you're saying, guys, forget this. We're going to win this thing on a play. We're going to live and die with our guy, Owen Mackey. And he delivered. He's got a 35-piece here with, my guess is probably 28 of that in the second half. Maybe one of the greatest single half performances I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years. Right now, if you're Snow Canyon, you're saying, don't foul. If you're Crimson, you're saying, look, 2 seconds is a lot more than you think. Let's see if we can get somebody coming off left to right, going to their strong hand, 1 or 2 pounds, maybe get it to the volleyball line with a chance for a heroic shot on their own. Or you try the old Christian Leitner, throw it down to the biggest guy on the court, have him catch it anywhere from the 3 or the foul line, and have him turn around with one of his signature jumpers. I like what they're doing already. You have Campbell, the biggest guy on Snow Canyon, off ball or on the ball underneath, and saying just be disruptive. Be interesting to see what they draw up here. It looks like Snow Canyon's in about the half-court line saying we're going to let them catch everything in front of us.
2 seconds and Eaton will inbound. Lindquist gets the inbound pass, nowhere to go, just has to throw something up. A beautiful trap by Snow Canyon, and that will win them the ball game off of Mackey's three-point shot. And this time, the Warriors fans out on the court to celebrate. Big win by the Warriors, 75-74 over the Mustangs. What a game from both of these teams.
A great game, but a better way to say it is an incredible individual performance. This is a team sport, but Owen Mackey just appeared to put the jungle on his shoulders, from low post, turnaround, muscle shots to and ones, and finally, for a great play, a little pin down screen where you just got to switch and meet the switcher on defense to not give up that. A three-pointer to win it, 75-74 for his 35th point of the game.
Just an amazing performance from Owen Mackey as we head into our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. We'll take a quick 60-second break, and we will be back right after this.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bride Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
Snow Canyon Warriors take the win at home in what is their first region game, as they had the bye in the first set of region games back in December. They get their first region win against the Mustangs in glorious fashion, we could say. A buzzer beater by Owen Mackey takes them up 75-74, the 1-point win for the Warriors inside of our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. Let's dive on into it, Ben, into the post-game show here. I want to thank Johnson Pediatric and Dr. Cody. He makes your kids feel right at home. Johnson Pediatrics always has the new patient special. Their cleaning, exam, x-rays for just $79. Give them a call, 435-656-0511.
Longtime sponsor of Region 9 Sports. Well, I'll tell you what, we got, 35 points from Owen Mackey. Pretty easy to determine the Ace Hardware player of the game. I think that one happened before he hit the three. But some interesting individual performances on the Crimson side, with 25 from Drake Carroll, 23, and a career high for both of those two. Noah Marsden with the 23 points. Great job by Snow Canyon of drawing up a really great play that put pressure on Crimson to make a decision. And sometimes it's just those little things as a coach, you can say everything you can in the huddle, but the guys still have to go out and execute. And sometimes, they execute despite what you say in the huddle. And so it's kind of interesting how the game goes, but this is a great game on a Friday night. You hate to see anybody lose in such a great game like this. But at the end of the day, I think Snow Canyon just did more things correct. They played a little bit harder at times. Crimson battled back to get back into that game and never gave up. And so I think for both teams, you go, look, for Snow Canyon, this is a great win. For Crimson Cliffs, this one's going to sting. But at the end of the day, you've played the two toughest teams in the region in Snow Canyon and Dixie back-to-back.
Yep.
And you played a great game. Both of those games, you're missing two and you're missing one starter. And so I'm always an optimist. I like to think for both teams, you think, okay, where do we go from here? For Snow Canyon, you go, okay, we're off to a great start, 2-0 in region. We got to get this thing back going to 3. We're going to have Dixie before we know it. And Crimson, you're thinking, okay, we got to get the number on Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. And let's dive into a few of our awards here as we wrap things up with our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. As you mentioned, yes, the Hirsch Chase Hardware Player of the Game, Owen Mackey. We talked, though, about our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. It still has to go to that Sean Feltz dunk. I mean, that thing was phenomenal. You had the tipped pass, the outlet to Feltz, the dunk on the fast break. It was a beautiful play. And the shot contention as well by Owen Mackey going up to try to get a little bit of a hand on it. It made for a beautiful play, a fun play. The Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. Gotta love it there. I want to talk, though, about our Jersey Mike's sub of the game. Who came off the bench and produced tonight? I will say this, when it comes to the Warriors, there's a few different guys that I like here, but really it was Owen Iloa who came off the bench and was just a force. That's what he is. He might not put up the most points in the game, but he can become a force. Between him and Campbell, that tandem was able to keep Sean Feltz from scoring too many points tonight.
Yeah, and what's interesting is, again, I love the play where he went up and took a chance and got dunked on by Sean Feltz. Now, I love it because he never gave up, but also it's an interesting play because it resulted in a technical. All of the momentum from that play swiveled back to Snow Canyon because of the technical. You send Owen Mackey to the line. He knocks down 2, gets him. Anytime a great shooter can see the ball go through the rim, it just kind of gives you an extra confidence every single time you see it happen. And so that was such a critical point where he'd made a couple baskets, but he got to go up there and get his free throw going. And so I don't know. I think you're spot on that sub of the game. Iloa took some chances and was disruptive and did a great job coming off the bench and spelling the big fella Campbell.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that, I believe that'll just about wrap it up for us. Any final thoughts on this game as we are, again, on a Friday night, just getting things started in region play?
Great game, and these are two teams that I expect to be in it by the end of the year. I know Desert Hills had a big win tonight. Pineview with an off night. Of course, we'll see them next week. And just a great high school basketball game. Again, not to be repetitive, but you hate to see anybody lose it. But if you're going to win it, might as well be not an official making a call, but a player with a dagger 3 on a great play and an individual effort that maybe 35 isn't 45 or 50. I don't think we'll see that this year in high school, but 35 in 32 minutes. Pretty dang impressive.
Absolutely. Well, from all of us here at Snow Canyon High School, I want to thank Sebastian over here running the camera. I want to thank Connor back in the studio for the radio side, helping us get on the airwaves that way. And, of course, from Ben and myself, we want to thank you for joining us here on the Fan Sports Network for the Boulevard Home Game of the Week. We'll be with you on Wednesday next week with more Region 9 basketball action. Until then, have a good evening, everybody, and we will see you.